Good evening. Welcome to the Board of Education meeting. It's Monday, June the 8th. All members are present. Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Someone like to move approval of the agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? None. This evening, we have no recognitions of student, staff, or public, and there's no one in the audience that appears to be interested in coming forward, so we will move right into Part A. Someone like to move Part A?
So moved.
Second. Thank you. Part A includes all our personnel items, field trips, contracts, and agreements. All in favor of Part A, please signify by saying aye.
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 None opposed. Thank you. Brings us to Part B. And our Assistant Superintendent, Chris Lennox, and the Activities Director from Kennedy, Matt Hansen, are here to talk to us about these first 6 resolutions, and then we'll move the resolutions after you speak to us.
Fantastic. Thank you, Madam Chair, Superintendent Fujitaki, and members of the board. Tonight we are bringing you 6 cooperative sponsorship agreements. The Minnesota State High School League allows 2 or more member schools to create a cooperative sponsorship agreement for an activity or a sport when participation numbers at one or both schools are not sufficient to field a team. Jefferson and Kennedy High Schools have agreed to field cooperative sponsorship teams in the following areas: boys and girls alpine skiing, gymnastics, girls hockey, boys and girls Nordic skiing, wrestling, and dance. While student athletes from both schools are eligible to compete, the school with the greater number of participants will actually serve as the host school, and the team will then compete using that school's name, mascot, and colors. It's also important to note that under the Minnesota State High School League bylaws, sports that have individual state competitions, which in our case would be alpine skiing, Nordic skiing, gymnastics, and wrestling, will allow cooperative sponsored teams to compete through the regular season only. In these sports, our teams will have to separate back into 2 teams once they move on to the section and state meet because of that individual competition. In girls hockey and in dance, our teams will be allowed to compete through the postseason because there are only team competitions at the state level in these activities. These cooperative sponsorship applications will be submitted to the Minnesota State High School League for approval should the board approve them this evening. Administration is recommending approval of all 6 agreements. I do have with me Matt Hansen, Activities Director from Kennedy, in case you have specific questions about one or more of the agreements.
Thank you. Anyone have any questions? Okay, start, Jim.
I'm sorry, are these all renewals, or are there any new ones?
All renewals.
Okay.
Yep.
Director Bennett, did you have enough?
How long have we been, the girls hockey, that's a renewal as well? It's not new?
Yeah.
So how long have we been doing?
I think this is the 2nd year, right?
This upcoming year will be the 3rd year.
Okay, so in those 2 years, have you had any complaints from families of either Kennedy or Jefferson, or?
No, I think the first year was, just a trying year as we were bringing them together, but last year was a lot smoother. Everything was pretty good last year. And in fairness, Kennedy's numbers last year are going down, so if we didn't field the co-op at all, we wouldn't have enough to sustain, so.
Well, yeah, I saw that when they were looking at the participation by years, and I think 2 years ago, I think Jefferson itself, there was like 31, and then the next couple years, both of them combined was less than that, so.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
Director Lebo.
I thought I read in here somewhere that it's possible to maybe petition the state so that way you wouldn't have to break into separate groups when you got to state competition. Because I'm imagining if you were playing all year as a team and now all of a sudden you only had 3 people from Kennedy or 4 from Jefferson, now they just don't get to participate.
For which sport specifically?
Well, could you just talk in general? Is there any exceptions that they would allow?
I think the one that is kind of been the hot button topic has been wrestling. And the State High School League has said that any three, or AAA schools, which Kennedy and Jefferson up until this year were, that the State High School League won't allow for AAA schools to combine, to be a co-op. You have to be a AA school or lower. And then as far as Alpine and Nordic, because they have the individual components, that's why they're able to section out.
Okay. I was looking, I don't know if we were talking about dance yet, but I think, what did it say here? We're petitioning bylaw 403 so we can compete in regular and postseason as one team?
Yeah, dance is the same thing. Dance, they allow it,
Okay.
just numbers wise, they've allowed AAA schools to co-op.
Okay.
So hockey, they don't?
Hockey, they do.
Okay.
Yep. So hockey, girls hockey and dance, they allow us to stay together. Everything else, we have to section out.
That makes sense.
And this year, Kennedy, because of our enrollment, we actually have gone down to AA in wrestling, and we also have gone down to A in gymnastics. So we'll still be together for the regular season, but then we'll section out.
Okay.
I have another question. So when it says that, when they when they combine these groups, the school that had the most participants, it would be like, it would be, Jaguars or whatever. Do you know, off your head, which of those sports have the majority? Are they all Jefferson, or do you know the differences?
Yep, the ones that Kennedy hosts are wrestling and dance,
Okay.
and then Jefferson hosts Alpine, Nordic, girls hockey, and gymnastics.
So now that Kennedy is down because of enrollment, they still can't combine because Jefferson's still 3? Is that
Yeah.
what? Okay,
Yeah.
that's too bad.
Is there that close a distinction in the enrollment from 3A to 2A?
I believe when we went through the process 2 years ago, we were about 50 students above that cut, and then within the last 2 years, we were down, and I believe it's the top 64 enrollments, and I think we're hovering around 70 right now, Kennedy is.
Anything else? Hearing no further questions, we will begin the resolutions. Director Bergstrom, did you want to start?
I'll take the first one here.
Thank you.
That one is the, the dance program. Be it resolved, the School Board of Independent School District 271 approves a cooperative sponsorship for the Kennedy and Jefferson Dance Program effective with the 2015-2016 school year.
Second.
Okay, is there any discussion regarding the dance resolution? Hearing none, all in favor of this resolution, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? None. Director Bennett.
Be resolved that the School Board of Independent School District 271 approves a cooperative sponsorship for the Jefferson and Kennedy girls hockey program effective with the 2015-2016 school year.
Second?
Thank you. Is there any discussion about the Jefferson Kennedy girls hockey program? Hearing none, all in favor of this resolution, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? None.
I'll do wrestling.
Director Oliva, thank you.
Be it resolved that the School Board of Independent School District 271 approves a cooperative sponsorship for the Kennedy and Jefferson Wrestling Program effective with the 2015-16 school year.
Thank you. Is there any discussion about the wrestling program? Hearing none, all in favor of this resolution, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Director Corman? Would you like to take the alpine ski?
Or gymnastics.
I'm sorry, did I miss one?
Uh,
Gymnastics.
Gymnastics
Go
is
away.
I'm
next, yeah.
sorry.
You want to read on mine?
That's fine. Resolved that the School Board of Independent School District 271 approves a cooperative sponsorship for the Jefferson and Kennedy Girls Gymnastics Program effective with the 2015-2016 school year.
Thank you.
Second?
Thank you. Any discussion about the gymnastics program? Hearing none, all in favor of this resolution, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Any opposed?
That was 12.
Director Sorm?
Be it resolved, the School Board of Independent School District 271 approves a cooperative sponsorship for the Jefferson and Kennedy Alpine Ski Program effective with the 2015-2016 school year.
Second.
Thank you. Is there any discussion about the alpine ski program? Hearing none, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? None. Director Steiger.
Be resolved that the School Board of Independent School District 271 approves a cooperative sponsorship for the Jefferson and Kennedy Nordic Ski Program effective with the 2015-2016 school year.
Second.
Thank you. Is there any discussion about the Nordic Ski Program? Hearing none, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Thank you both for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Boy, now I have questions.
Now he's got questions.
You can send an email.
Would someone like to move the resolution regarding trash removal services?
Madam Chair.
Dr. Bergstrom.
Be resolved that the School Board of Independent School District 271 accept Dick's Sanitation Services of Lakeville, Minnesota, bid of $70,757 annual to provide trash, recycling, and organics removal from all district locations.
Second.
Thank you. Our Executive Director of Finance, Brad Zivkovich, is here to answer any questions. Do you have a statement?
Chair Barlotta, Superintendent Fujitaki, board members. This is just a normal review of contracts where we put it out to bid every few years. As our prior vendor was Waste Management, by putting out to bid, we found a savings in the process. This is a 2-year contract with the ability of 2 one-year renewals.
Thank you. Does anyone have any questions about this?
Realizing that they all have, bins of solid waste, single-sort recycling, and the organics. Any big stuff do they pick up, like over here at the high schools, pallets and different boards and all that stuff? Is that just thrown into the big dumpster and they haul that away too?
Yeah.
So, there's no special charges for
Right.
extra?
Right. It's just like we have our basic different. It's just making sure that a lot of the things are separated properly within the organics.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Yeah, I have 2 questions. So the 70,000 that this is bid on is the lowest of the ones coming up. Is it lower than what we currently have with Waste Management?
It's fairly similar to it. I don't know exactly what our annual costs are, but I would guess it's in that range of $70,000 to $80,000.
Okay. And the other question is, I know the city's going through this organized trash pickup stuff, and is that, I know they're looking at putting different quadrants of the city. Is this going to affect that at all, or is that
No.
only for residential?
No, that won't affect it.
Okay. Okay.
Anyone else? Karen, do you have a question? You're thinking.
No.
Not like the point.
I was gonna say,
This is the time.
because it's
Hearing-
on mic and it's live, you can't really say, bring all your stuff over here and don't pay any trash for it.
What are you saying?
Yeah, you don't know.
Yeah, you don't want to hear it.
I do want to hear.
Hearing no further discussion, all in favor of this resolution regarding trash removal services, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? None. Thank you. Next, we have a resolution establishing the 2015 school board election. Who would like to make that resolution?
Madam Chair?
Sure.
Resolved that the School Board of Independent School District 271 approves 1, November 3rd, 2015 as the date for a school district general election. 2, there will not be a school district primary election. 3, the terms and conditions for these elections. Attached.
Is there a second?
Second?
Thank you. Director Zivkovich, do you have anything to say?
This is a process that's done every 2 years. The coming year, we have 3 board members that are up for re-election. This is just to put the process in place to start the election calendar.
Thank you. Does anyone have any questions or discussion about this resolution? Hearing none, all in favor of this resolution establishing the 2015 school board general election, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have a resolution regarding the 2015-16 vendors and rates for district insurance. Someone want to make that resolution?
Madam Chair?
Sure.
Be resolved, the School Board of Independent School District 271 approves the vendors and rates for district insurance for the 12-month period from July 1, 2015 to June 30th, 2016, per the attached memo. 1 RAS First Dakota Indemnity Company Workers' Compensation Insurance Policy. 2 Kraus Anderson Insurance Comptroll Workers' Compensation Claims Management and Loss Prevention Program. 3 Markel Insurance Company Blanket Accident Policy, Special Risk for Registered Volunteer Workers. 4 Travelers Fiduciary Liability for Self-Funded Health Insurance Plan. 5 Hartford Fire Insurance Company ERISA Bond. Further be it resolved, the School Board of Independent School District 271, per its organizational meeting of January 12, 2015, authorizes the superintendent or his designee to execute documents within the authorized budget as appropriate to the daily operations of the school district.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. Mary Burrows is here, Director of Human Resources. Do you have a statement?
Chair Barlotta, Superintendent Fujitaki, and members of the board. This is our annual renewal that we bring forward every year with our vendors, just to update our rates so that you can see what the increases and decreases have been. The only things that I really want to touch base on, because you've had time to read it, our workers' comp, we did see an increase in that area, but our ratio, our MOD is increasing from the previous year, so that's a lot of what that increase was. Other than that, there's really not a lot to point out that's unusual that I see in our increases. So if you have any questions about them, I can certainly answer them.
Does anyone have any questions?
Madam Chair, and Mary, just to be curious, the total dollar amount is for any claims that we have. Do we ever exceed that, or how does that work in terms of, are there that many claims, workers' compensation?
In a school district, usually yes, between injuries that happen, especially when you have custodial transportation in-house. I mean, there's always risk there, but there's also risk to teachers in classrooms, to students and teachers. So we do have claims that come in, yeah, every year.
Okay, I just guess I was never aware that it was that big a volume. Thank you.
Yeah.
Any other questions? Hearing none, all in favor of this resolution, please signify by saying aye.
All right.
Any opposed? None. Thank you. Next, we have our first reading of a new policy, number 427, workload limits for certain special ed teachers. Would someone like to?
All right. Be it resolved that the School Board of Independent School District 271 accepts the first reading of new policy 427, workload limits for certain special education teachers.
Second.
Thank you.
I'll give you that one.
Mary, do you have a statement about this?
This is a new mandatory policy required by the state, so that's why we're introducing it now. We did use the MSBA model language because basically all school districts that I've heard and talked to are. So we've taken that language right out of the model to use for this one because it meets all the statutory requirements.
Thank you.
That's really all I have to say about it. If you have questions, I'll take them.
Go ahead, Director Bennett.
So is this going to change anything that we're already currently doing?
No, it doesn't. Most schools that I know of anyway already have either things that are required by the state as far as, ratios to students depending on the level of special education. For the level of special education below those, each school usually has a staffing plan on how to deal with those staffing ratios already in the school. And I know we do, and I know many districts do, so.
Do we know what the rationale from the state was, why they are forcing districts to have this policy?
I don't know the answer to that.
Probably someone was not prepared.
Yeah.
Was not what?
Prepared.
Well, because,
I can try to research that and find an answer on why they would have put it in place, but.
I would say, as a special ed teacher who taught in Minnesota and in New Mexico, very difficult here in Minnesota. It's pretty much having two part-time or two full-time jobs, being a special ed teacher. So I don't know if this was an attempt to try to lower that burnout, because special ed teachers have a high burnout rate in the state.
No, because in this policy, it doesn't require a certain workload limit. It just requires a school district to have that limit established.
Okay.
So the state's not mandating each school, this is what you have to do. They're allowing that as long as you have a way to be monitoring that to determine what those workload limits are, except in certain mandated cases. Yeah,
So it's just telling us to establish a
Exactly.
limit
If you
instead of
haven't-
giving us a prescribed limit.
exactly. If you haven't worked out your staffing plan and how you address those things, schools now have to.
Which might be necessary for some districts that don't have
Yeah.
that limit, so they
I
have some
can't
teachers
even
that might have
imagine a district not
25
having a
kids
staffing
and
plan
some with
with that,
10, so,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Just curious.
I think there has been talk and people trying to pass legislation related to workloads. So this may be as a result of some of that.
Or a first step is get this out there and then
Yeah.
start prescribing workload limits.
Mhm.
Okay. Any other questions? Hearing none. All in favor of this resolution, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? No. Thank you. That brings us to our board member reports. Who would like to go first? Director Bergstrom.
I don't mind going first. So this is pretty much the season of graduations. I did have a 9/17 board meeting. We met last Tuesday, I believe it was. And we went over we went into closed session for superintendent review. And the superintendent in 9/17 is John Christensen, just for those that are wondering, watching at home. That was a closed session, went well, and the summary statement, I'm sure, will be read into the agenda in our July meeting. I attended a Cedar Center, and it's the Idea in the Sun programs, the graduation for 9/17. Also attended the T graduation. There were 2 students that graduated there. This, again, is for 9/17. 2 students, that was held at Lakeville North. Attended the Decals graduation. That was at Dakota County Tech. Another one for 9/17 was the Tessa graduation. Also for 9/17 was the Deaf and Hard of Hearing preschool graduation, which is, preschool is always pretty cute. They have their little paper hats, and along with singing the song, of course, they're signing the song, and there's somebody there signing an interpretation of that particular song. Was privileged to attend the Bloomington Transition Center graduation over here at Oak Grove Presbyterian. Attended both Kennedy and Jefferson High School graduations. I think this happened between our last meeting and now. It was the Kennedy Fine Arts Activities Hall of Fame. I had Mark and Maria Hultgren were inducted, and Anita Krakauer. And then that was followed by Kennedy Rhythm and Gold Concert afterwards at Kennedy. I kind of went through these fast because of what I'd like to do is just take a moment to say thanks to all the people who make these graduations, wherever they are, wherever you are in the state, make these graduations successful. And it could be grandpa, grandma, mom and dad, big sister, big brother, doesn't matter who it is that's involved in these students' families, in their lives, but they do make a difference, and you do make a difference. So I want to say thank you to all the people that played a part in that. Also, all the staff. Doesn't matter if it's custodians, transportation, food service workers, nurses. Everybody has a part to play in making sure that all of these students graduate, that they stay on task. Not every one of these guys wants to get up on time. They don't want to get to school. They don't want to. They're kids, and they're people in their lives throughout the district, from the front door to the back door, that make these graduations special and make them happen. So I just really want to say thank you to all the people that are involved in these students' lives. And that ends my report.
Thank you. Anyone else?
The Superintendent Evaluation Committee met prior to this meeting, and we reviewed the superintendent evaluation forms, appraisal, and came to an agreement, and the information will be shared with the superintendent. It was a positive review, and the information will be shared with the superintendent, maybe after the meeting tonight, where a statement will be compiled, and then we'll bring it back to the June 29th school board meeting.
22nd.
22nd? 22nd. And will be put on the record at that time with the evaluation.
Thank you. Anyone else? Rebecca?
The district curriculum, the Diversity Advisory Committee, curriculum was my old one, sorry, met this last week, and they're continuing their work on some recommendations that they will be bringing to the board probably this fall. So, but they had a really great group and really got a lot done in that meeting, so they should be almost done with them. I also had a chance to attend the graduation at the Transition Center, and once again, what a great event that was. You know, the families all there, and was just great to be part of it. I also stopped in for a little while at the field day at Oak Grove Elementary, and their first day got canceled because of rain, but boy, their makeup day was perfect day for it, so I guess that was good. But there was really nice lot of volunteers that had planned on being there on the first day, and it got canceled, and so they really rallied, and probably many of them changed their schedules and were still there, and they had a great, I know they were worried about getting volunteers when they canceled, but they had a great turnout, so thank you to all the families and friends that showed up to volunteer for them. I also attended the Fine Arts Hall of Fame, especially enjoyed the concert afterward. They're great, and I do believe we have a student in the showcase that's coming up. I think we have one student that from there that made it into it. I think it's this weekend. And they have that annual showcase that they do from all over all the show choirs. I think we have one student that made it in there, I understand. Also, after graduation, I attended the all-night parties at graduation, and once again, you know, the parents really stepped up and just did a great job in providing a great opportunity for the kids. And I know some of the parents spent a lot of hours getting ready for those and long nights, so thank you to everyone that worked on that. Thank you.
Anyone else? Well, I would like to just say, remind everyone that the Education Foundation Golf Tournament, Chip In for Schools, is going to be held on July 29th. You can go to the website to sign up to golf, which board members are encouraged to do. There's also a dinner in the evening, or we'd love to have you volunteer. So all those things can be done on the website. In your packet tonight, there was a school board self-evaluation, and we'd like to have these turned in by Friday, Monday at the latest, because we'd like to compile them before we have our meeting with Dennis on the 29th. Dennis Teamworks.
So do you want us to fill out this paper one and bring it to you, or email the one that you emailed?
Either one, your choice, whatever works best for you. But just Friday would be great, Monday at the latest, okay? And just a reminder that this is just a snapshot. If any of these things are an issue for you, I hope that you'll either come to the superintendent or myself so that we can work them out right away. We don't have to do it, you know, wait a whole year to find out that there's been a problem or something that needed adjusting, and we could have done it quickly. So that's all I have to say about that. Superintendent, do you have anything?
Yes, I do. Administration requests two motions by the board. The first motion is to establish a closed session on June 15th at 6 p.m. for negotiations discussion. Have a
Anyone like to
motion,
make
please.
that motion?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. All in favor of a closed session?
Can everybody?
What time was it?
6 p.m.
6 p.m.?
It's already in the calendar, right?
All right. Any discussion, or we're good? Okay. All in favor of this resolution, or this motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And none opposed. There you go.
Thank you. The second motion is to establish a school board study session on June 15th at 7 p.m. Discussions and topics will include school safety and security updates, preliminary budget 15-16, school board self-evaluation 14-15.
So,
So moved.
thank you.
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion? Since we'll already be here. All in favor of this motion, please signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Thank you.
Great, thank you. Next would be an informational item. The Metro South Adult Basic Education Graduation Ceremony will be held on Thursday, June 11th at 7:30 p.m. at Olson Middle School Auditorium.
Just a reminder, we're supposed to be there by 7.
The school board members,
The
right?
school board, exactly. Thank you.
We're all wearing our gowns.
No gown. Leave your gowns at home. Other than that,
My last item refers back to the resolution the board passed on polling places. I just want to point out to the board that over the years, we've been slowly reducing the number of sites in the interest of student and staff safety, number of sites that are used as polling places. Last election, we had 3 elementary schools, Olson, Washburn, and Westwood, used as polling sites. In keeping with our efforts to improve the safety of our schools as far as front entrances and security measures, Rick Kaufman and the city worked together, and now all of the sites are no longer going to be used as polling places. So, but the only thing that we're going to be is Olson Elementary School is being shifted to the Jefferson High School Activity Center. Other than that, the Westwood and Washburn will no longer be used as polling sites. So none of our sites are going to be used as polling sites except for the Jefferson High School Activity Center.
that's a lot of work. Thank you.
Will the activity center be open that day for students, or will you be?
I'm not sure about that. I think, no, I'm not sure.
I'll channel them in some way.
I'll get back to the board on that.
Thanks.
Is there any other business to come before the board this evening? Hearing none, this meeting's adjourned.